So welcome to the start of the new vlog. Ankle's pretty much better now, back's better. At Brands Hatch, we was giving out the posters that we had done from Zach at Quad Graphics. They went down a great storm, so I need to get more done ready for next year. The car's had the stickers, or half the stickers peeled off it now, ready to do the repairs on it for next year. One of the pickup racers come down at the weekend, and I was chatting to him about trying to make the car faster, handling wise, so he was giving me some good tips on that. I've spoken to Jamie at JTech Automotive and Steve and all my mates so about making it quicker, so we're going to have a bit of a team meeting with Sam and the rest of the boys to try and hopefully get some more speed out of the truck for next year. The engine's coming out pretty soon for me to top and tail it, well, dyno it first, top and tail it, and see if we can find some more power out of that. So thanks to everyone that subscribed. The subscribers has jumped up quite a lot the past couple of weeks, so thanks to everyone that's put the effort in and done that. If anybody else could do that, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, if you could subscribe for me, that'd be fantastic. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, it just means you get a notification of each time we release a new video. So today there's about 4 or 5, well this week there's about 4 or 5 engines that I want to see the back of. Today I am grinding this hot rod crankshaft before balancing it. So I've set the grinder up already. I've ground number 4 big engine already. I didn't film any of this being set up. I'm just going to carry on grinding that. I'll do it on time lapse and then be able to see the end result, but it should hopefully sort the crank out because it's quite rusty in places. There's quite a bit of damage to it. There's also a fair bit of machining working at the moment to get sorted, cylinder heads to get sorted, so I'll film each one of them step by step. I've got to do the side valve engine, which I'm still waiting for the camshaft on, but that's all machined now apart from honing it, so I'll hone that in a little while. I've converted it to lead-free seats as well, so that's looking quite nice now. I'm going to ring up Simon at Nevlock to order a load of core plugs and bits and bolts off today, so I'm going to do that next. Speak to Simon, he always sorts me out, and the boys there, Jordan and Kurt. But so I'm going to get a load of bits on order, and also this afternoon I'm hopefully going to get the Rover V8 cylinder heads on the Superflow and ported to try and improve on them a little bit. There's a fair bit to do on them. So very busy week as usual. I'll show you the unit in a little while as well, what's going on in that, and the pickup. I'll run through the pickup, and also the body shop has got a new puppy called Buddy, so I'll record a bit of Buddy so you can see him. I've just been round there to have a cup of coffee, and he's a right playful little thing, so yeah, he's really cool, so I'll get him on the camera for this vlog as well. So that's the big ends done on the hot rod crankshaft. All I've got to do now is polish them, so I'm going to switch the machine over to do the main bearings now. So to do that, we're not using this part of the crank grinder anymore, we're just locking it into this part of the crank grinder. Is that picking it up? Yeah. Right, so I'll start off with the centre main. So this is just winding the wheel closer to the crankshaft. And that's what I've also done, is then just turned the wheel one complete turn back, just to then move the wheel further away again. Put the splash guard on. This basically makes the coolant go straight down onto the main bearing journal instead of coming out of the fingers that control the big ends. Then this part here is called a continuous gauge, but this will need adjusting because the last crank that I did was quite small. So I'll adjust that. I'll put the crank grinder into a higher speed, and then I'll record that being done on time lapse again. So one job that I've got to do today, I don't enjoy doing it, we try and do it every sort of 4 to 8 weeks, is clean the engine cleaning tank out. This is one of 3 engine cleaning tanks that I've got. I've got an acid, this, and then another chemical cleaner. This one is the one that's used virtually all the time, and it uses water and a detergent. So that's all the dirty water that builds up over, I think it's been 4 weeks since I last changed it, all scum in the water, and that's the filter there. So what I'll do is, once it starts to drain, I'll take the filter basket out and clean all that out. So basically I've got a fast flow pipe on it, and we'll drain it out and replace it all. Then what I'll do is, while that's draining, I've got to go and get the hose from the other side, where Sam's jet washed one of the vans at the weekend. He's nicked my hose as normal, so I'll pop over to the new workshop to grab that and put the GoPro back on charge. Oh, actually, I'll just show you what I've done. While that's draining, I've had a local Subaru specialist come in to skim 2 cylinder heads. So I've done one. They're Subaru Impreza cylinder heads, and then the other cylinder head is on the machine now. So I'll skim that while the water's draining out the cleaning tank. Which is there. So I'll make sure that I've nipped the clamps up. There we are, that's doing the final cut. I'll just lower this. So while that's finishing off, I'm going to run over and grab the hose and lock the new unit up. I'll show the end result on them cylinder heads. I'm also going to get hold of the customer and let him know that both his cylinder heads are done. So I'm going to give Len a quick call now and just say that they're ready to collect, and I'll show the end result. So it's now a new morning. The chemicals and water's been changed in the cleaner, so it's really nice to smell that all nice and fresh and looking clean. So it's just getting up to temperature now. Yeah, I love it when it's clean. When it's fresh, makes the workshop smell all citrusy for a little bit of time. First job I'm doing today, while I've got another crank to grind actually, but I'm letting all the bearings and everything warm up in the machine. So while that's all warming up, I'm going to do a set of injectors for a guy. So these are out of a, I don't know what they're out of, a Nissan something I think, but these are them. And the car doesn't really get used a lot. I'm sure he said a Jazz, maybe a Honda Jazz actually. The car doesn't get used a lot. It's been parked up for a little while. They've come to use it and it's got a misfire. It's not running too good. So they've taken the injectors out and I'm just going to run them up on the machine. Get a before pattern, spray pattern and delivery. And then see if we can improve on them, or if they look good, then that's it, job done. So first thing I've got to do to this is go through the adapter kit. I've got to back some pressure out of it because the last set I did was some GDIs, so the pressure is a lot higher. And then go through the adapter kit and put a new set of injector adapters on to test them with. Just like that. I've got loads of engine bits on the floor. And put the fuel rail on, or the fuel pipe onto the fuel rail. Fit the injectors. Is that picking that up actually? No. Fit the injectors. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to time lapse the start of this because I want to show what they look like straight out the packet in case there is a fault, that you can see it straight away without it being time lapsed and then me trying to re-show it. So once again I'm using my as new classic GDI injector tester. This is actually a new modified rail that I bought off as new. They improved it. Before it was thumb screws up here. Now they've got this new locking system. It's so much faster. They've made a really good modification on that. Now I'm just going to put the injector wiring harness on. Then the first thing to do down on the screen down here is prime the injectors. So this fires the injectors. Is it picking it up? But primes all the air out the system. And this is a leak test. So what this is doing now is running the injectors at too much pressure. Let me back that out. It's running the injectors at 3.5 bar. But not firing the injectors, so this checks that the seat on the injectors is fine, but it's not got any dirt behind it or damaged. These aren't leaking, so this is a good test. The next test is an impedance test, so this is checking the strength of the solenoid, how good the solenoid is. Once again, this is fine. And it shows me the data on the screen like that. And then the next test is a flow test, so I'll run it quickly just to get any air out of it, and then put it into the test tubes, then run it. It runs for 30 seconds, and it runs at the fuel pressure whatever you set it to, so this is just over 3 bar, so I'm not actually going to touch that. And then as you can see, these injectors, they're all flowing virtually exactly the same amount, so I don't think he's got an injector problem. What we would be looking for is really if one was down here, down quite low, but I mean that's 41, 42, 42, 42, so it's not enough. I actually don't think it's worth me doing any more to those injectors. There's no point me spending too much time on it. Even the spray pattern looks really good. So the last test I'll do actually, just to show you, is where I run the injectors at different engine speeds to see if there's a fault with the injector when it's run at a different speed. So that's 600 RPM and they all look fine. That's 2500 RPM. They actually look like they're in really good condition. The car's only done, I think, 35,000 miles, he said, so yeah, I don't think we've got an issue with this. And that there's cranking. That's 5,000 RPM. So I'm going to ring him up quickly and just let him know that I've done a test on them and that it's all good. I'll bag them up for him so they keep nice and clean until he comes to collect them, but they're fine. So it's Wednesday morning. I'm just leaving to meet my mate Neil, who owns a company in Reading. I recently built him a Lotus twin cam engine for a rally car, which we dynoed and tuned it really for power. The customer's been out and rallied it, and he wants us to get him a bit more bottom and mid-range. So we've booked it in to my friend Ray's rolling road. So I'm just on my way down to meet Neil to put it on the rollers, just to try and get some torque and power graphs. I bought some smaller chokes for the carburetors with me, so we're going to have to try and have a bit of a tune up on it to increase the bottom end by putting smaller chokes in it to get the airspeed up, to try and improve it that way. So I'll record some of this today. We're here. There's Neil. And Charlie.
Yeah, I've got to do things. That's good.
The car sales pays most of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the rolling road graph from the Lotus Cortina. This red line here is the fault that we had with it, and now after Ray's changed some bits on it, we're here. It's also gained 5 horsepower, but where we need it, it's gained 25 horsepower. So all in all, a good result. So I'll just show you around the car quick. I've just showed the improvements on the rolling road, but Neil took it down the road just to see what it felt like, and there was a massive improvement on it. The car looks fast, but I think the video caught it. When he turned around down the bottom and pulled off again, it blew first gear clean out of it. So he's got to do the gearbox. I think he's going to do exhaust manifold and some smaller chokes, and then it should be perfect. So I'm now going to head back to Newbury to crack on with some work. So it's Wednesday night. I'm going to end my vlog here with the Lotus twin cam on the rolling road, which ended in a bit of a disaster for the owner with needing a gearbox. It's dropped first gear out of it when the customer took it for a road test. All in all, a good week. Thanks to everybody for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and also leave the word gearbox in the comments below. Thanks for watching.